Friday afternoon, and I've been to my very, very favorite antique mall. And if I remember, I made a New Year's resolution that I would do more vlogging. That we would just, I would just sit and chat with you whenever the urge took me. And I decided that I have quite a few things to share and show, and just generally visit with you. So if you would like to get something to drink and sit down, so that we can at least think that we're sitting around a table together. Many of you have asked me over the last maybe 2 years how I acquire my collage pictures and bits. Well, one of the things that I did yesterday was to go through my pile of magazines that I have not been taking time to peruse and cut. And I decided that I would get started. This pile right here comes from a spring Victoria magazine. And so that's this bit. This pile comes from these two magazines, and they are from last year. Let me see. Yes, definitely, last year. Out of sight, out of mind. So I went through them, and I found these things, just things that took my mind that I could rip up and add to maybe some snippets or whatever took my fancy. And I just tuck them aside, and this pile equals these two magazines. I'm going to get this out of the way because I don't want to be on the floor chasing them if they decide to leave the table. Now, what I've noticed that a lot of you ladies on your videos have a what is it called? Oh Lordy, I won't remember. An English magazine that everybody loves, that I've loved, and you certainly cannot show any. They don't like you to show any of their magazine because of the copyright laws. But the issue is that after going through a magazine like this a few years ago, maybe after rereading, cutting, enjoying at least twice, I would pitch it into the bin for the recycle. But when you really take time to examine this paper, it is very, 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 it's heavy and nice quality. The size is wonderful. I've been watching that a lot of you use it for gluing, and when it gets nasty, you know, it can be folded in half, or two of them can be pressed down on one another, and they can be used. In fact, when you put two of these pieces of paper together, you have the equal, I think, of a decent weight cardstock. Well, what I'm going to do is put it in the laundry room so that when I go on my little meanders over the next week, I'm going to stop in at Office Max and have them chop the spines. I think they charge $1 a piece. Well worth it, because then I will be able to use it for glue papers, but I will also not have to cope with ripping all the time. So that is those are going to have the spines chopped off them at Office Max. Now, let's go with the things that I wanted to share. Okay, this paper I found in a drawer. Of course, that out of sight, out of mind. I found these handmade papers, and I looked at them, and they were so large, and there again, I really wouldn't be able to use all of this in this lifetime. So I have carefully cut them apart as best I could. As you can see, this is gold with beautiful fibers in it. These two have a gilding in them. In this one, it can be used on either side, this or this. A white. The transparency is beautiful. Another white with lovely dimension. And these, which I just could not resist. And this. And so I've decided to share them. I have, I think, 3 sets like this that I'm going to be sharing with you. And I cut them in such a way that I can put them into one of those large bubble folders to save you exorbitant amounts of money for postage. And now that Etsy is favoring me if I do free shipping, and I'm certainly going to do that because I like to keep shipping as reasonable as I can, and now I have gone through my my store and taken care of that. So this and 2 others will be coming. This is probably in the 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning time. Then these are the bits of offcuts, and they were piling up, and I said to myself, well, Carol, do you want them? And then I looked at the big pieces I had, and I said, I think it would be very nice to put those in a bag and share them with you. These are the offcuts of the pieces that I just showed you. So, handmade paper and offcuts. This, I've been talking about sharing for those of you who are interested. I went through my trove of years and years, I would say 30 years of extra bits of needlepoint canvas. And I went through them carefully and cut out pieces in many of the colors that I have. So these are going to be coming to Etsy also. Here is a piece of aqua, which I'd forgotten that I had, and I want to reiterate to you about the wonders of this because, and yes, of course it works beautifully with a sewing machine, glue, whatever, but because this is made in such a way that this is absolutely foolproof, right-angled, and exactly the same size squares, and remembering again with needlepoint, the only thing that the holes are for is to stick a needle in. The thing that is important is the threads. But if you look here, if you take this first thread and you give it a tug, it comes off absolutely straight. If it has been cut properly, it comes off absolutely straight, and you get this this effect. And as many threads as you want can be cut off. I'm going to be setting myself up for working on the journal that I'm working on, the pickup journal, and I'm going to take off maybe 3 or 4 threads on the edge of these because it just looks so lovely. And then, of course, there's this bit of linen as your gift, and my junk journal. So I have some aqua, I have some lovely dark green. I wish you could see that is really quite a nice forest green. We have some royal blue. I have 2 pieces of fabric, very, very high quality, even woven, perfectly even woven, like needlepoint canvas. I think this was for very fine cross stitch. You know, the absolute finest crosses that you could possibly want to do on something. This probably has 34, 36 threads to an inch. So there are a few of those. Now, as you can see, there's quite a difference. This has, this is called canvas cloth that is This is needlepoint canvas, but it is for pettipoint, and it is extremely, extremely fine. So there's going to be a piece of that. But, as I said, whoopsie daisy, didn't we just know? I'll be back. Well, that is happy news. My husband has arrived in Muncie, Indiana, and he is at AMA, American Model Airplane headquarters, where they're going to be having their national event, and he's just tickled to be there, the same way you and I would be if we were wallowing about in art supplies. And there is a piece of red, a fine piece of the blue, a piece of lilac, a very, very fine white, a piece of pink, and a nice piece of gray. So these are going to be coming as soon as I get photos, and this will probably, I'll have to do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in my at 3 o'clock in the morning for these, but it's okay, I will do that. Now, the rubber band, she is gone. No, it wasn't a rubber band. Okay, so I had some offcuts, as one usually does with this kind of thing, and so I'll also be offering some offcuts for these pieces that you might want to have just to play and to learn and to try. So the offcuts will be coming. So we have offcuts of handmade paper, offcuts of needlepoint canvas, and these are offcuts of the trims that I have been offering. As you can see, when I bought these and decided to cut them for you, if there was anything about the piece of trim that I didn't like, in other words, the color might have been off, maybe it was a little shop worn, I didn't like the way it looked pulled or whatever, but nothing in here is not something that junk journalists could not enjoy having. I have no idea why I cut that one off, but it certainly didn't pass muster. Neither did that one, or these. This is discolored. This is a little bit darker than it ought to be. This was on the outside, as you can see. This was on the outside, but the medallions are still in very nice condition. In fact, I'm going to put pins in these right now while I'm thinking about it, because these trims, this particular trim is all about the medallions. Oh, good, Carol, sure you are. That's right, I need to go to Joann and buy pins. But I will, in fact, I'm going to set this up here so that I can pin these to keep them in good condition. So, now, oh yes, yesterday, this was my project that I shared with you today on YouTube, and so I scanned it, and then I realized that I had recently purchased this piece when I was in High Springs in Florida at an antique mall, of course, and I said, my, I think that's a member of the family, and this I ran off on matte watercolor, matte photo paper, and this one is on better quality. Okay, it's happening now. I'll be back. Where were we? Oh yes. So this is the lace runoff on nice quality copy paper, which I use to tear and to use in my collage. So these two are I'm offering them now on my Etsy in digital form, and I wanted to show you this. This is the original. You can see that this is the back, this is the front. So that's probably, again, more than I'll ever need, so don't be surprised if you see that popping up. Now, on the same day that I found some of the lilac flowered lace. I found this. I found this beautiful baby. And as you can see, this, and it was on sale. But I could not resist because of the condition of the way it was held, and only a lover of fabric and well, just vintage anything. When I tell you that this hanky feels like the very finest quality cotton you could begin to think of, it is extraordinary. It is an extraordinarily fine piece of fabric, and look at that. And that was a hanky. That was a hanky beyond imagination. Love it, love it, love it. And usually, even though it was $3.50 and on sale, but handkerchiefs like this, for those of you who shop and look, at the very least anybody would charge for this would be $6 or $7 and more if they had the clientele for it. Things like this, it's odd the way antiques and vintage items cycle. When I was in business, my husband and I were in business, as much as I would have loved these, you couldn't give them away. And now people, I don't know, people seem to appreciate, yes, a little fold. People seem to appreciate this now, and I thought I'm going to scan this and share it with you, because this particular leaf and the edging on it is all in beautiful condition. Well, as I said, if you're a fine fabric lover, you understand about this hanky. Leave that there so that you can look at it. I got these two, which I thought were just delightful. I'm going to scan these so that they can be used. And I'm thinking, I'm not sure yet, but I'm thinking this linen is so lovely that I'm going to think about using it for in collage, because I really did buy these, and bless the lady, it was the price was right. So those will be shared. And then I found this. I didn't have a huge day down there, but I found this, and it put me in mind of the Tasha Tudor book that I bought, Decoupage. And the thing that I liked about this was this cover with the pockets. Thank heavens for white erasers, because anyone who would write in this, what I wish on them, you cannot believe. People just don't get it. There I am in a dither. I mean, it's ridiculous to do that. But if you don't appreciate, you don't appreciate. But I can grumble about it. Is it gone? 95% gone. White, gone. Alrighty. So look at the lovely, hard folio and a Beatrix Potter decoupage book, and in the back the bits that can be decoupaged. So I don't know what was here, probably something delicious, but this is the way it came, so I thought I would share this. And isn't the condition of it just delightful? Really, really lovely. So I found this for whoever is a Beatrix Potter fan, although I don't know who wouldn't be. And this ribbon, this double-sided satin ribbon, and it is very nice. It's so soft and lovely, and it's not dirty or mutilated. So that was on the trip to High Springs. Let me get the High Springs stuff out of the way. And today I found these 4 cards, and I will share why I picked them. You know, they were not displayed, they were just displayed in a box. And that's fine. If they had been displayed more carefully, it would have been nice, but these were $1 each, less 30% now. Can a girl leave something like that there? This has some lovely gold work on here, and I purchased this one for the fact that it could be, if you were so interested, you could cut that and just use that section. This one is March 2nd, 1910, no postage, but a birthday greeting. This one is Best Easter Wishes. This is 1911. Yes, March 22nd, 1911. And look at that beautiful Art Deco picture and flower. So, it's probably scan worthy at the very least, and this is so of an era, and it's 1911 also. I believe these two, Eaton, Ohio, Mrs. Sarah A. Fulton. Ah, isn't that incredible? Both of these to the same lady. And here the woman is griping about the fact that her kids are sick, and they keep getting sick. Every time they go away, they get sick. That kind of thing. And probably a woman talking to her mom. And look at this. Look at that. Embossed and gilded. And they usually date. And it's a little bit hard to read on this one. But, so, I treated myself to these. And then, there was this little baby lying in a box, and it's hand crocheted, and I've not found too many of these in this beautiful condition, in which the medallions are so small. So there it was, and it was after the 50% sale. It was practically free, and this was held the tag. And the young lady at the desk took this tag off, and she closed this, and she was about to flip it into the box. I said, I don't think so. Can I have that, please? I need to have that. And she looked at me like, well, this is another strange old biddy. But, had to have that. Yes, I did, and all of you can understand that. I have been using this. I believe, of course, that I have a true feeling that this is machine made. But I'm almost down to the end of my, the piece that I've been cutting up. And they just look, this super starched cord. I don't know, it looks lovely whenever I use it in collage. And I saw this and said, well, I have a replacement now, and it's bigger than the last one, so I was meant to have that. And then this cardboard. See, I didn't particularly care one way or the other if she had taken this safety pin, but that one, I probably would have cried. Anyhow, I'm going to, this is just delightful. There again, I would say the 60s or 70s. And this one is palest shade of pink. It's just lovely. So that by itself put me over the moon. And then there's this one. And this doesn't do a thing for me, but I know there are many people who would absolutely love this. This is very heavy quality, beautifully made trimming, and in these lovely fall colors. Wouldn't it just be a tickle with, wouldn't that just be a tickle with this? With this. So, you know, this was 50% sale on sale for 50% off. I almost did myself an injury scooping that up. This is just delightful and so of the era of the 70s. No, I'm not going to do that. Not necessary. But I will keep that over there. I do hope that you have enjoyed my my share for today. I thought I'd stop by and we'd have a chat. And if you have enjoyed our visit, please give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Share with a friend. And I would appreciate you subscribing to my channel. Bye now.